Good evening, Steel City. Welcome to the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Tonight, our 56th edition, will be live again from the original podcast room of the Black and Gold Paraphernalia. On tonight's show, the Pittsburgh Steelers quietly are in the midst of their season-ending 6-game losing streak. Still have no quarterback, and the one who thought was coming back will not be. I have some quiet information I will share on our Pittsburgh Steelers. Hashtag, here we go. It's Super Bowl weekend, so what more time and happier time to go over the past Super Bowls of the Pittsburgh Steelers. 6-time NFL Super Bowl champions. I will give you the Steelers NFL Hall of Fame players who are all in the Steelers Hall of Honor, and some upcoming Super Bowl champions who should make the NFL Hall of Fame. Super Bowl in Pittsburgh. Is there any better feeling? Pittsburgh Penguins iced in the Metro Division, and the wild card standings endured 2 injuries that are not at a good time. That's Sidney Crosby and Benny Malkin. I will update those injuries in the last couple of Penguin games. Let's go, Pens. The Pittsburgh Pirates spring training is getting closer. Will the Pirates finally door a 500 season? Or will the season of losing continue? I will start the 2025 season with some facts about the Pirates, maybe some of you never heard of. Hashtag Let's Go Bucks. I will give my Super Bowl picks and some other possible things that might happen with this Chiefs-Eagles game coming up Sunday. But coming up, I will start tonight's show off with our tremendous sponsors, IE Sports Radio's new sponsor, Vital, along with the amazing Planet Jerky Premium Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on another planet, and Seal the Deal Wax Seal Wax Stamps. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. Plus, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, and why we are doing the Yinzer Report. Steel City, Pittsburgh, please come join me in my 56th episode, 35th live. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's go!
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, Take part in your iron therapy and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
Well, good evening, everybody. This is Ralph Calise, host of the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Very good evening out there to everybody, and get ready for the Super Bowl this Sunday. Hopefully everybody has a happy Super Bowl weekend with family, friends, and watch the game and have a good time. And if your team is in it, good for your team. I hope your team wins. My team is not, as we all know. And as you can see, I just wanted to support our new sponsor there on the bottom there. As you see, I have it on the screen. That is our newest sponsor, Raw Nutrition Supplements. Get rawnutrition.com. Use promo code IESR for 10% off your order, as well as the other sponsors that I played before: Seal the Deal Wax Seals, Planet Beef Jerky, and the Vital Sportswear for your workout needs. So, okay, so this will be this is going to be my Super Bowl edition. This is my 56th episode of the Yinzer Report. And I just want to remind everybody out there that Sunday we will be having a live IE Sports Radio is teaming up with USRN, and we will be have a Super Bowl 49 streaming event. As you know, if you listened to last week's episode, myself and Ricky K from New York State of Sports will be part of that live stream, and our part of the live stream will be on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time and 1 p.m. Pacific Time. So if you want to catch that and catch all day long, actually, I believe it starts at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 9 o'clock Pacific Time on the West Coast. It'll be a streaming event all about Super Bowl shows from different hosts here at IE Sports Radio. And like I said, me and myself and Ricky will be on at 4 p.m. So hopefully you guys can tune in for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Everybody here at IE Sports Radio is very excited about that coming up, and it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a fun time. So just go over the particulars here. Once again, this is the Yinzer Report. And if you want to catch me on X Twitter, you can tweet the show at Yinzer Report IE, or if you want to get in touch with me personally, it's at KaliseR786. All right, so now that we have all that out of the way, let's get into a little bit of some football with the Steelers. Of course, we'll get through the bad part here. As you know, the season ended about 3 weeks ago for the Steelers. And as that happened, and as the Super Bowl comes and goes and finally ends the 2024 season, all right now is quiet on the South Side in Pittsburgh. a month into the offseason, and Mike Tomlin's promised changes have yet to materialize. Steeler fans, we Steeler Nation, are running out of patience. Something that did happen was linebacker coach Aaron Curry contract wasn't renewed, and he is now picked up right away by the Jets. So he is now no longer a coach for the Steelers. He is now coaching with the Jets. Like I said, other than that, it's been quiet over at 3400 South Water Street. Arthur Smith and Terrell Austin will return as in their coaching positions, and we're already out scouting last week, and it appears that Pat Meyer, the offensive line coach, will also return for his third year now. Not Arthur Smith, but Terrell Austin and Pat Meyer were in question about returning because of the way the play of the defense and the offensive line was towards the end of the season there. They had a big part of the 6-game losing streak. So let's get into, again, this all torturous happenings, or what hasn't happened since the Steelers were eliminated from the postseason to push their dubious streak to 6 straight losses and 8 years since winning a playoff game. When I was going over this before today, I was going to tell you guys that it looked like that they were going to move on from Najee Harris. And it looked like they were going to use a draft pick to be used for a running back in the upcoming draft, which supposedly has a stacked draft class for a running back. But and also I was seeing that the Steelers would not rule out a free agent, but I would not expect a high-end running back. And then today I see out there that there is a possibility that they may get a contract done with Najee Harris before the free agency period starts. So that's probably really the only news that's really come out, except this next thing that came out when I get to it, about any players. So if they're looking to bring Najee back, I guess they'll go with what they did last year, Najee and Jaylen Warren. And I don't know, maybe draft somebody or pick somebody up as a third guy, because Cordell Patterson definitely wasn't the guy that they thought he would turn out to be for that spot. My opinion, my feeling, Art Rooney II is afraid to demand significant changes with Mike Tomlin and how he approaches things. He's happy that Tomlin continues his winning seasons and is hoping just to catch lightning in a bottle in the postseason. This has been shown the past 3 years that this is just how he runs the organization as an owner. And you could see in the interview that I went over last week with Art Rooney II, and as you know, my saying is always be the second. I'll never be number one, and I'll never be the grandfather. He just seems content with Mike Tomlin getting the wins during the regular season, and he doesn't not make any moves, any crazy moves. And he's never going to fire Mike Tomlin, as I've said millions of times here on the Yinzer Report. Another thing I noticed is after digesting all this after a month is I've seen a difference in culture. The past few seasons, this is Mike Tomlin's team. There are not many strong voice veterans like back from the Bill Cowher days and his championship team, where Cowher demanded that from his veterans. And you know the names I'm referring to. These players under Tomlin are entitled, partly soft, and I don't think they're good enough to compete with the teams that are better or are the best, which showed out in the end of the season there. Now comes this crazy quarterback thing that happened during the week. As you know, Russell Wilson took over for Justin Fields after Justin Fields was 4-2, and Russ was hot at the start. I think he was 6-1 before he lost his last 6 games. And Tomlin did not want to pull Russell Wilson for reasons of his own being, which was a total mistake. And then comes this week about Russell Wilson. It comes out this week that multiple sources told certain reporters that Arthur Smith did not want Russell Wilson changing the plays at the line of scrimmage, despite the quarterback's big game versus the Bengals in Week 13. Now, just to remind you, go back to Week 13. They played the Bengals in Cincinnati, and the Steelers put 44 points up on the board, which was that was like a new coming for the Steelers, 44 points in one game. So Wilson's desire to attack with the pass and throw downfield clashed with Smith's run first mentality, causing physiological friction between the two. So what came out was basically, sorry, I used big words there, but that's how I saw it when it was written. What basically came out is that Arthur Smith was clashing with Russell Wilson towards the end of the season about changing the plays at the line of scrimmage. And you could see multiple reports out there from players or people that dissect the games where he was doing it. He was doing it. He was just going out there and calling stuff. I don't think he was actually going by what they wanted. But then 24 hours later, a reporter who I will not name because I do not like, and I would not give. She is a lady reporter. I would not give her name the time of day on my show. As long as I can call this my show on IE Sports Radio, I will never mention her name on this show. So if you guys want, you could go back and look at who it is. I'm sure some of you out there know who it is. She comes out on a Pittsburgh radio station on 937 The Fan, that's in Pittsburgh, and says that Russell Wilson Art Smith story was patiently false and one-sided. She speculated that it was a ploy by Russell Wilson's camp to explain his late season struggles. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? What is going on? What is that all about? So now you're saying that they're covering up what was said, that Arthur Smith was saying he was changing the plays. You're covering that up, saying that that's the reason why he played bad. And it comes out now that it actually came out today that it came out that they were covering it up because this was all for about a contract. They were trying to cover up his struggles at the end of the year with whether he was dealing with Arthur Smith or what I read or what I just read here from this woman reporter about a contract that's coming up. And he thinks he was playing for the Steelers because he mentioned he would love to come back to Pittsburgh. And this is what's going on. And it came out today that that's all BS. That is all BS. And the Steelers are now going to move on from Russell Wilson because of all this that came out about wanting to play with Pittsburgh, about the non-calls of listening to Arthur Smith, and what this lady here is saying that the camp of Russell Wilson was looking for a contract from the Steelers because he was playing bad. I tell you, more and more coming out on Russell Wilson. I disliked the guy from the start. I thought maybe the change of scenery was going to be good for him here in Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin loved him, as we all know. And I don't know, man. He just went to dirt. He went to dirt, the 6-game losing streak. And now all this that's coming out, if it's true or not. I mean, it's the Pittsburgh media. They strike up a match out there and light a fire under anything they can. But half the times they're not even right. But this has some go to it because it came out today that the Steelers now are not going to look into re-signing Russell Wilson. He will not be one of the quarterbacks that the Steelers will be looking at for 2025. And that's fine with me. So as far as a quiet week, it got a little testy there at the end. But let's get into some more happier states of things, and let's talk Steelers Super Bowls. So what I did was this week, being that it was Super Bowl week, and I have this streaming show coming up with Ricky K on Sunday. We are going to do something on the show about legacies and Hall of Famers, and I guess the Hall of Fame class that got announced last night. But what I did is I went back on I was going to do a recap of each Super Bowl that the Steelers won, but I said, you know what? We all know that they won the 6 Super Bowls. I don't need to go into on how they won them. What I did is I went back and I looked up the Steelers Super Bowl wins of the 6, who in those Super Bowls are Hall of Famers at this time. And if you don't believe winning Super Bowls in the NFL makes you a better player, or like I said, like we're going to talk about on Sunday with the Hall of Fame crew that's coming up and have a legacy? Well, I'm going to go through this list, and I'll try to do it as quick as I can because there are a lot. And just listen to some of the things that I tell you about these players of the Pittsburgh Steelers that are in the Super Bowl champions and in the Hall of Fame. So the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise has 32 Pro Football Hall of Famers and 49 members of Steelers players in their existence are in their Hall of Honor. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Honor. That's their own Hall of Honor for players. There are 27 players and coaches in both the Hall of Fame and the Steelers Hall of Honor. So 27 of the Hall of Fame players are in the Steelers Hall of Honor. So just to go over, 1974 Super Bowl 9 was a Steeler win. 1975 Super Bowl 10 was a Steeler win, back-to-back. 1978 Super Bowl 13, Steeler win. 1979 Super Bowl 14, Steeler win, back-to-back. 2005, that was Bill Cowher's team, Super Bowl 40. And 2008, Super Bowl 43 was when Mike Tomlin won his first Super Bowl with, as we say here on the Yinzer Report, Bill Cowher's players. But now let's get into the players. So I put them in alphabetical order. So Mel Blount was first. He was a Super Bowl champion in 9, 10, 13, and 14. Hall of Fame, 1989. Terry Bradshaw, Super Bowl 9, 10, 13, 14. Hall of Fame, 1989 with Mel Blount. Bradshaw was also MVP of Super Bowl 13, Super Bowl 14. Bill Cowher, head coach, Super Bowl 40, Hall of Fame 2020. Cowher was the coach of the year in 1992. DeMonte Dawson, he never won a Super Bowl, but I put his name in there just to mention him into the Hall of Fame because he was the mainstay as a center for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he was inducted into 2012 Hall of Fame. He was their center long snapper for, I believe, 13 to 14 years. Alan Faneca, Super Bowl 40, that was with Bill Cowher's team. Hall of Fame 2021. He played in a total in an NFL career 206 games, and he started 201. There's a guy who didn't miss many games at all. And then, of course, Steeler icon Mean Joe Green, Super Bowl wins 9, 10, 13, 14. Rookie of the Year 1969, and Hall of Fame 1987. Kevin Green, God rest his soul, may he rest in peace. Super Bowl 45. Now, this is there are two Steelers on this list that have won Super Bowls, but not as Steelers, who are in the Hall of Fame. Kevin Green, Super Bowl 45. He was the Green Bay Packers coach, and who did they beat? The Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's an interesting fact there. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2016. But Kevin Green was on that Steelers AFC championship team in 1995, and they wound up losing to Dallas in Super Bowl 30, and a Super Bowl that I said I would talk about on the air here, but I never have because that was one of my most devastating sports moments in my life, that Super Bowl. And I'll leave it at that. Jack Ham was next, of course, Super Bowl 9, 10, 13, 14, Hall of Fame, 1988, just a great linebacker, and of course, he was from Penn State. My favorite running back of all time, Franco Harris, Super Bowl 9, 10, 13, 14, Hall of Fame, 1990, another Penn State player. Jack Lambert, oh man, if anybody out there does not know Jack Lambert, any of you younger fans of mine that are listening, just go back and check out his highlights. Google his name and just check out his highlights, and that's all I need to say with that. Super Bowl 9, 10, 13, 14, Hall of Fame 1990. He was Rookie of the Year 1974 and Defensive Player of the Year 1976. Next up is Chuck Noll, Hall of Fame 1993. Chuck Noll. Now, listen to Chuck Noll. This guy deserves to be in 2 Hall of Fames. Chuck Noll was a Super Bowl champ as a player in 1954 and 1955. He was a Super Bowl champion as an assistant coach in the NFL in 1968 and the AFL champion in 1963. And, of course, he was the Super Bowl coach of Super Bowl 9, 10, 13, 14, the Pittsburgh Steelers all-time leader in wins, coach leader, 209 career wins, regular season and playoffs. And like I said, Chuck Noll, he belongs in 2 Hall of Fames. Next up, Troy Polamalu, Super Bowl 40, Super Bowl 43 champion, Defensive Player of the Year, 2010 Hall of Fame, 2022. I looked up a stat on Troy Polamalu, and it said 107 pass deflections. And that's a safety. Excuse me. And he played safety, but he really played all over. 107 pass deflections. Amazing, amazing stat. John Stallworth, Super Bowl 9, 10, 13, 14, Hall of Famer 2002. He could have been easily the MVP of Super Bowl 14 versus the Rams, but that went to Terry Bradshaw. He had an amazing game there. Lynn Swann, Super Bowl 9, 10, 13, 14. He was Super Bowl 10 MVP, and his Hall of Fame came in 2001. Mike Webster, the center, may his soul rest in peace. Super Bowl 9, 10, 13, 14, Hall of Fame, 1997. Mike Webster was probably the best center in Steelers history. But DeMonte Dawson was right behind him. I lied. DeMonte Dawson, I think, was really good. But Mike Webster was the man. And here he is, one of my top 3 Steeler players, as you guys know out there, 1A, 1B, 1C. He could be either one of them. Rod Woodson. He won his Super Bowl. Oh, God, I can't believe I'm even going to say this on the air. He won his Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens, or as I call them, the Ratbirds. Defensive Player in the Year, 1993. He was also part of that AFC Championship team in 1995. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame 2009. And, of course, he has the most career interceptions returned for touchdowns, 12. And he's tied for the most career defensive touchdowns with another Woodson, Charles Woodson, and Darian Sharper. And last but not least, Donnie Shell, Super Bowl 9, 10, 13, and 14. Hall of Famer 2020. And here's a quick stat on Donnie Shell. Career, 19 fumble career, 19 fumble recoveries. So that goes to show you that was a guy who was always around the ball on defense. So, and of course, honorable mention, Art Rooney, the father who, of course, was the Super Bowl champion of the 4 Super Bowls. The owner, he was the grand poopah of all this. He bought the Steelers, groomed the Steelers, and his brother Dan Rooney. He is the owner who won Super Bowl 40 and Super Bowl 43. So that was just my prelude to the Super Bowl with the their Hall of Fame status and their MVPs. I did write a little list here, potential Steeler Hall of Famers, that names you probably didn't hear mentioned because they're not in the Hall of Fame. They did win Super Bowls, but they are not yet in the Hall of Fame. And on top, I put Ben Roethlisberger. Next, I put Hines Ward, who I think should be there already. I don't know what they're waiting for. Casey Hampton was a defensive tackle. James Harrison, the linebacker, and also James Farrier. And I also put last but not least on my piece of paper, I don't know if you could see it on there, but there he is. I put Mike Tomlin on the bottom. So, hey, that was just, I figured I'd have a little fun with that for Super Bowl and talk about something good with the Steelers, because we really haven't talked about anything good with them for the past past month, I should say. All right, so let's get to the best time of the show. Let's check all the comments out there. And welcome to everybody who is in the chat. And if you're still there, I meant to say this at the beginning. If you're still there, shoot me. I'm coming up. I'm going to be making my pick for the Super Bowl coming up shortly towards the end. Shoot me in the chat who you think your winner is going to be. And first one up, Raymond Mann. Have a great show. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, sir. Terran Rodriguez. Good evening, Ralph. Have an awesome show. Yes, sir, Terran. You had a great show there with your brother. I enjoyed it very much. Thanks for tuning in. Always Arizona sports. Have a great show, Ralph. Thank you, Alden. Thank you very much. And there he is, my nephew, Danny Man, Yinzer Report. Yeet. Oh, boy. Well, our wrestling fans out there, that guy who has that slogan, Yeet. Oh, boy, are they pushing him. Jey Uso is being pushed for the WWE. But I'll leave that up to the SoCal Saint. That's for his show to talk about. My man Drewski. What's up, Drewski? Ralph, the man, Drewski, checking in. Have a great Yinzer show. Thank you, sir. Thanks for tuning in. Also, Drewski again, are you comfortable moving on with Fields? Drewski, that's who I want. I want the Steelers to extend Justin Fields and give him the chance that he deserves. He showed that he could play. He was 4-2. He could. I did a show. He could have easily been 6-0. And Mike Tomlin pulled the rug out from underneath him for Russell Wilson. What's my spot here? Oh, this is a good one. I like this one. Always Arizona sports. Justin Fields redemption. Well, that might be one of the comments of the night right there because, yes, that's exactly what I want. I want a Justin Fields redemption. There is no better way to put it than that. Next up, always Arizona sports. Hines Ward, ASU legend. My man. If you listen to my show here, like I said, I just mentioned it. I have 3 Steelers that I love, that are personally dear to my heart. And that is 1A, 1B, 1C. And it's Ben Roethlisberger, Hines Ward, and Rod Woodson. I don't know if you can see in the background above the hat, that is a picture of Hines Ward in the end zone, signaling touchdown in the end zone. But yes, Hines Ward is a legend in my mind for anything. Steelers, ASU, wherever he's been coaching. I believe he coached a XFL team last year. I think he was there. Hines Ward, he could do no wrong by me. That was a great comment. Thanks for that comment. And Drewski, Joe Mean Green from UNT. Yes, sir. That's where he was from. Mean Joe Green. I think you changed his name there, Drewski. All I could say is Jackie Smith. Oh, God. See, now you have that Super Bowl with Jackie Smith where he dropped that pass that the Steelers won. Now, the Super Bowl 30, which I really didn't want to get into it because it was devastating to me. We had Neil O'Donnell throw your guy, Larry Brown, a pass that I don't even know where he was throwing the ball. If anybody has no idea what I'm talking about, just go back to Super Bowl 30 highlights and just watch the end. Just watch the end when the Steelers were making a comeback. They made a mad comeback. They were underdogs by double digits. They had the ball with a chance to take the lead, and oh my God, Neil O'Donnell, what he did, I don't even want to talk about it. But yeah, Jackie Smith, you could say Jackie Smith, and all I could say is Neil O'Donnell. Oh boy. All right, and Drewski again. He put his pick up. He put KC 30-26. Okay. And always Arizona Sports has 35-33. All right, very good. Well, I'm going to give you mine coming up. Oh, wait, hold on. I got one more. Indie Sports Nation, Fields to the Colts. Jam. Have a great show. Hey, listen, I just saw something before I came on the air on social media that the Ravens may be looking to sign him. I don't know what that's all about. I got to look into it. But maybe Mike Pat could delve us on something with that on his show when he comes up. I don't know why they would want Justin Fields, but man, I that's who I want back. That's who I want back. All right, so let's take a quick break, and when I get back, I'll get quickly into the Penguins, and I have something on the Pirates, and then we'll get into the picks at the end. Thanks for the comments, everybody. It's one of my favorite parts of the show, reading the comments. And just stand by here a second while I queue up the couple of my colleagues. I have a couple of new ones out there, finally, so that I can play for you guys. These are some new people that have their shows just take a listen and give them the respect of listening to their drop, and maybe catch their shows. They all do a great job. All right, so this is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be back after this.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Mike from Indie Sports Nation. Come hang out with me each and every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, where we talk things Indiana sports. We talk Colts, Pacers, Fever, Indy Ignite, and we dive into the college scene as well. Boilermakers, Hoosiers, Irish, Bulldogs, and every school in between. But we don't stop there. We'll sprinkle in some NHRA and cover the IndyCar Series. From the turf, to the hardwood, to the track. We got you covered. Come hang out with your boy, Big Mike. Each and every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Indie Sports Nation. Right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, IE Sports Radio family and other sports families. My name is Alden Kay, and I want to welcome you to the AZ Sports Zone on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. If you're a fan of the Valley and the Grand Canyon State like me, then I've got the show for you. Tune in every week, where I will update you and give you the latest news for the Arizona Cardinals, Phoenix Suns, Arizona Diamondbacks, ASU Sun Devils, U of A Wildcats, GCU Antelope, and of course, the NAU Lumberjacks. Again, if you're a Valley sports fan and like all that is desert sports like me, tune in every week here on the IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll see you then.
All right, welcome back. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Ralph Calise, and let's get into the Penguins here. As I put there on the bottom, as you see, stuck in the frozen ice, now dealing with injuries. The Penguins are at 53 points. They're 7th in the Metro, 8th in the wild card standings with 5 teams ahead of them. The last wild card spot is at 61 points, so right now they are 8 points behind at a playoff spot. And 2 major injuries have come up. Evgeny Malkin was placed on the injury reserve on January 27th, and the other night Sidney Crosby came up with an upper body injury. Crosby was already announced was going to miss tonight's game at MSG versus the Rangers with an upper body injury. As well, head coach Mike Sullivan said that the team is taking it one day at a time, so Crosby will be considered day to day ahead of tomorrow's matchup versus the Flyers. Crosby has been skating with his teammates during practices and maintaining his conditions, but head coach Mike Sullivan told the reporters his world-class center will skate at practices and do all he can and to do it light in practices and ready himself for upcoming games. Since the end of that 7-game road trip, the Pens are 1-1 with 3 points gained with a shutout versus Nashville 3-0. Crosby had a goal and assist, and Alex Nedeljkovic had 25 saves, his first shutout of the season, 9th in his career. Then they had a crazy 3-2 shootout loss to the Devils that went 7 rounds at the PBG Paints Arena. Ricard Raquel scored his 24th goal of the season, happily making Sweden's selection of him to play in the Four Nations tournament a success. So he was called by Sweden to play in that Four Nations tournament coming up for Sweden. And just another note on Sidney Crosby, Pittsburgh's captain Sidney Crosby missed several shifts in the third period after colliding with New Jersey's Luke Hughes and Eric Hula. Crosby will captain Team Canada at the Four Nations, skated to the bench, favoring his left arm and hand, but returned after being examined in the locker room. So he's day to day, and I guess he's still on track for the Four Nations tournament, but we'll see how that goes along. That's a hand injury, and hand injuries in hockey, that's the main part of your body you need for hockey is your hands and your wrist. So if that's still bothering him, I don't foresee him playing much with the way his hand and his wrist would be. All right. So as we all know, baseball season is fastly approaching, believe it or not. It still feels like we were watching the Dodgers and the Yankees in the World Series there, but that is long past. And we got, like I said, Super Bowl Sunday is coming up. Football season is ending, and with that brings the beginning of spring training, as we call it in baseball. So as you guys know, what I like to do is this is not a Pirate preview of like players or anything. I just like to get a little in depth about the team before the season starts. I will have a show coming up where I get into depth with the players and the starting rotation, which really should be pretty strong this year, you know, coming off Paul Skeen's rookie year and other guys that were there last year that are going to be in their years of coming to play, which would be good. But I just like to give you, being that I'm new, I had the show last year and I'm new to the Yinzer report. I like to give things about my teams that I'm reporting on. So this is what I have come up with to the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates are an American professional baseball team based in Pittsburgh. The Pirates compete in Major League Baseball as a member of the National League Central Division, founded as part of the American Association in 1881 under the name the Pittsburgh Alleghenies. Now, you may not know some of these facts that I'm reading here, but this is how they came to fruition and some facts about the team. The club joined the National League in 1887 and was a member of the National League East from 1969 to 1993. The Pirates have won 5 World Series championships, 9 National League pennants, 9 National League East Division titles, and made 3 appearances in the wild card game. Since their last World Series in '79, the Pirates have largely endured a period of great struggle. Since then, they have had only 11 winning seasons, 6 postseason appearances, 3 division titles, and have advanced just once in the postseason with the victory in the 2013 National League wildcard game. The Pirates additionally posted a losing record in 20 consecutive seasons from 1993 to 2012, a record streak in both MLB and 4 major North American professional sports leagues. Wow. So I didn't even know that. Read it again. The Pirates currently have the 5th longest World Series championship drought, the longest pennant drought in the National League, and the longest league championship series appearance and division championship drought in all of baseball. Oh my God. From 1882 to 2024, the Pirates have an overall record of 10,839 wins, 10,819 losses. And they have ties listed here. I don't know. There must have been ties way back when. And that amounts to a 500 winning percentage. Wow. Reading that, I didn't even know that. I didn't know it was really that long. Wow. I'm going to be reading that all night. All right. I guess I'll be mentioning that again when I do the preview. So hopefully you guys remember that. You'll be hearing that again. The Pirates are often referred to as the Bucks or the Buccos, derived from Buccaneer, a synonym for a pirate. Since 2001, the team has played its home games at PNC Park, 39,000-seat stadium along the Allegheny River in Pittsburgh's north side. The Pirates previously played at Forbes Field from 1909 to 1970 and at Three Rivers Stadium from 1970 to 2000. Okay, so I will say this. If you've never been to PNC Park in Pittsburgh, you got to go. If there's any way you can get yourself to Pittsburgh to go watch a baseball game there, you won't even be watching the game. You're just going to be watching the surroundings of the park. I mean, unless I go and I see Paul Skeens, I'll be watching the game. But that's a story for another day. But yes, if you can make it a part of your bucket list, if you're a big baseball fan and you like to travel to stadiums, if you've never been to PNC Park, I would advise you to go take in a game at PNC Park. So just go over it again. Their Pirates are National League from 1887 to the present. So this would be their 133rd season coming up, if I'm correct, of baseball. Central Division from 1994 to present. They were in the Eastern Division from 1969 to 1993, and they started in the American Association from 1882 to 1886. Some other notes on the Pirates. Of course, their colors are black, gold, and white. Their team name is the Pittsburgh Pirates from 1891 to the present. As mentioned in the beginning of that part there, they were the Pittsburgh Alleghenies from 1887 to 1890. Other nicknames, as we call them, Bucks, Buccos, and they were the lumber company back in the day. And the 3 fields we had mentioned that they played at: PNC Park, Three Rivers Stadium, Forbes Fields. There's other parks they played in way before in the 1800s. And all right, here's their major titles. They have 5 World Series major titles: 1909, 1925, 1960, 1971, 1979. NL pennants 9, 1901, 1902, 1903. Wow, they were really good back in the early 1900s. 1909, 1925, 1927, 1960, 1971, 1979. And this next one stat that they have down here is NL Central Division titles. The Big Goose Egg. So that goes back to that part I read. That is unbelievable. Have the 5th longest World Series championship drought, the longest pennant drought in the National League, and the longest league championship series appearance and division championship drought in all of baseball. Oh, wow. Well, they'll have some work to do this year. Man, that's going to be something when they break that crazy scenario there. All right, guys. So, one more time. I'm going to take a break. Come back. We'll talk about the Super Bowl coming up. And I'll mention to you again the streaming event coming up Sunday again for IE Sports Radio. This is Ralph Calise, your host, Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'll be back right after this.
How we doing, sports fans? This is Christian Harvey, your host of Gritsville, USA, your go-to show for all things Detroit and Michigan here on IE Sports Radio. Whether you're here for Gritty Lions talk, getting pumped up for the great Detroit sports renaissance, or hating on your neighbor depending on if they were green or blue, we got you covered. Whether you're in the East, West, or Central, we got you covered. Join me as we tackle through all that the great state of Michigan has to offer in the world of sports. Catch me, Christian Harvey, each week on Gritsville, USA, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Put the hero on the head.
Hey yo, what's good, Georgia? It's your boy ACS, and if you love sports from the Peach State as much as I do, then Georgia Sports Central is your one-stop destination for down south sports, courtesy of IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Are you a yellow jacket at heart, or do you bleed the red and black of the Bulldogs? Do you keep it true to Atlanta with Trae Young, Capella, and the boys? Do you rise up with the Dirty Birds on Sundays? Are you excited to see what the future holds for Michael Penix Jr., Bijan, and the rest of the Falcon squad? Do you live at 755 Battery Avenue? Do you rep for Albies, Acuna, and the rest of Braves country? If so, then let's get united every Wednesday for some Braves, Hawks, UGA, Georgia Tech, Atlanta Dream, Falcons, and more on Georgia Sports Central, only on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, welcome back. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And let's get into Super Bowl Sunday. Of course, Love Steelers are nowhere to be found in that game Sunday. And I will give you my pick on who I am rooting for and a couple of things that I think may happen in the game. So, all right, so as we all know, it's the Eagles versus the Chiefs. It's Super Bowl 49. And I'm going to go, I'm going to say the first half is going to be a closely played first half. And I'm going to say the points are going to be in the teens. And there'll be no more of a 3-point margin. What I mean by the teens is anywhere from 10 to 20 points. And it's going to be a 3-point lead. 13-10, 16-13, or 19-16, a 3-point lead. And I think the Eagles are going to have the lead at the half by 3 points. I could see that with the way they run the ball. They play good defense. And maybe KC starts a little slow. And, so I'm going to say first half, 16-13 Eagles in that range. All right, then you're going to have your halftime show, which I will be heading over to the food area, wherever I'm going to be, and I will be getting food because I'm not interested in the halftime show at all. And then we play some more football for the second half. So 16-13 Eagles. I say by the end of the third quarter, the Chiefs will be winning by 3 points. Go back to the 3 points. So Chiefs by 3 at the end of 3 periods, and I see a big play in this game. I know you could just say like you're going to see a big play, but I could see a big play coming up early in this game in the fourth quarter for the Chiefs, whether it's a punt return for a TD or an interception return for a TD. I could see the Chiefs going up by 10 points, at least midway through the fourth quarter. But I do see the Eagles fighting back, getting it back to a 3-point deficit. And the way I see the game ending is the Eagles will have a chance to win it down 3, but they will come up short. They will come up a push-tush short. Oh, by the way, my over-under for tush-push in this game is 3. I'm going to say over-under 3 push-tushes in this game, Chiefs and Eagles. So, yeah. So, I think the Eagles are going to fall short by 3 points. And I will give it the good old 29-26 Chiefs winning Super Bowl 49, three-peating. Patrick Mahomes putting his niche in NFL football history amongst a whole bunch of other people on the Chiefs for winning their 3rd Super Bowl in a row. I'm going to go 29-26 Chiefs. But I'm going to go out on a limb, and I mentioned this on the Philly show the other night. I feel Saquon Barkley is going to be the MVP of this game. I feel he's going to have a monster game, and win or lose with the Eagles, I feel he's going to be the MVP. So, so I'm giving that. So I'm going 29-26 Chiefs, and they win again, and they win by less than 1 score again. They win by 3 points. They get their three-peat, and all is well in Kansas City Chief land there. And that's what I'm going. I'm going with that. 29-26 KC over Philly in a great game. I feel it's just going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game. All right, so we're coming to the end of the show here. Actually, almost done. Okay, so once again, let me just remind everybody, there will be a Super Bowl 49 streaming event with myself and Ricky K. That he does the show, New York State of Sports. And boy, did he have himself a show Monday. I think he had close to 700 views. And me and him will be on air Sunday at 4 p.m., along with the radio station going along all day, starting from 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time. Live streaming event with USRN, the Ultimate Sports Radio Network. IE Sports Radio is teaming up, and we'll be doing a live streaming event. And like I said, there'll be shows from those time slots. And me and Ricky will be on at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. And we will be going over a bunch of things for the Super Bowl. Legacies, Hall of Famers, Tom Brady's first Super Bowl as an announcer, which I heard somebody mention it on a sports show today, that was a big thing. And me and Ricky came up with this as a week ago, or more than a week ago, about talking about that. That should be a great spot. So once again, hope everybody can tune in Sunday. And thanks for tuning in tonight. We're up at over 190 views right now. So we had ourselves a good show here today. And this is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio. The feed for all that is sports. I thank everybody for tuning in. I thank you for all your comments. Stay safe out there. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. Hope your teams win. Oh, and one other thing about the Super Bowl. I'm not rooting for any teams, but I'm rooting for my boxes. I have a number of boxes going on, and one pool is a Whopper. And I'll be rooting for them more than I'll be rooting for the game. All right, guys. This is Ralph Calise, your host of the Yinzer Report, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Super Bowl Sunday. And take care, everybody. Have a good night.